Hey guys and gals, how are you all doing today? All right, I don't know how you're doing. I'm doing freaking awesome. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. This is crazy, but UFC Fight Night 81 just ended, so I had to get this podcast out because forget about it. I had like a goal for myself, but really it's just it was an awesome fight card, and we need to talk about it. So by we, I mean me with you guys. I need to get your thoughts, and to get them, I need to get this podcast out. So I'm going to be focusing on the main card because I do want to get some sleep tonight. That means we're going to be talking Pearson versus Trinaldo. We're going to be talking about Matt Mitrione versus Travis Browne. We're also going to be talking about Anthony Showtime Pettis versus Eddie Alvarez. And of course, the much anticipated championship fight between Dominick Cruz and TJ Dillashaw. Let's get it on, people. You want to know the rumors, you want the results, you want to geek out over MMA and wrestling, you need to listen to the Guy Block Podcast. All right, let's get this started. As always, Orlando here, your host. Let's talk about the first fight of the card, of the main card, of course. We're going with Ross the Real Deal Pearson versus Francisco Trinaldo. Now, this is a typical 3-round fight. It was a good match. The first round, both fighters came out cautiously. They spent the first minute or so feeling each other out, testing their range, but not really committing to anything. Pearson could be called the aggressor because he was the one that was walking Trinaldo down for most of the round. After 3.5 minutes, it was same thing, same old, same old. Trinaldo looks like he's basically just going for counter strikes. So you know what that is, guys. If you have somebody that even if they're being aggressive, they don't want to commit because they know it's a counter striker. And then you have a counter striker that won't commit to anything because he's waiting for you to do something. So it was a pretty timid round for the most part. Round ended, no real fireworks, but Trinaldo did get a last-second slam on Pearson, and while that sounds freaking awesome, and it is, but it wasn't anything out of this world, so basically you can go for 4.5 minutes of, Pearson being the aggressor by walking Trinaldo down all around the octagon, and then in those last 30 seconds, Trinaldo gets a slam. It could go either way. We know with the judges, it's usually going to go the way of the person that got the slam. But, it's good to pay attention to the fact that it wasn't a round where Pearson really lost. Now, second round started with both fighters looking a little bit more aggressive, but not a lot of action. Trinaldo kept backtracking, refusing to commit to engage Pearson. At 90 seconds, Trinaldo threw a kick to the body that Pearson grabbed, uses it to take Trinaldo to the ground. Pearson got top position, but couldn't manage to do much with it except for one punch as Trinaldo was getting up. It was a good round again. Trinaldo got the best of it as he landed several kicks and knees on Pearson. So because he landed more shots, even though he didn't look more aggressive, he did actually get more hits in. So second round goes to Trinaldo. Those keeping count, that's 2-zip. I would have it 1-1. Now, in the third round, Trinaldo definitely came out more aggressive, landing a big right hand to the head. It looks like he caught Pearson, but Pearson is a tough son of a gun. I mean, any other guy would have been taken out with that. Any other guy would have been stunned. Pearson got stunned for like a split second and then caught himself, managed to intelligently defend himself and get out of being against the cage and away from Trinaldo's attacks. However, Trinaldo did land a head kick, but Pearson grabbed the leg, took him to the ground. Pearson decides not to engage on the ground, which is a little bit surprising just because he does need to end this fight. I guess he had more confidence in getting a knockout punch instead of anything else, of going to the ground for a submission. Trinaldo back up. Not much happens. And Trinaldo gets up, and it looks like he's slowing down towards the second half but by the time Trinaldo's feeling tired, this is not a championship fight. It's 3 rounds. As long as he doesn't get knocked out, he should win. And that's exactly what happened. Trinaldo won this fight. Judges' scorecards had it all for him. Now, let's move on to the next fight. A little bit more exciting and a bit more known fighters. We have Matt Mitrione, who said that if he won, he'd want to see what he's getting paid after this fight, and if he lost, he'd like to see what kind of deal is offered to him. Because if he didn't like it, he's willing to walk away. He says he's comfortable with his lifestyle, so he's not needing the money like some people might be. So he said, if he doesn't like what offers he gets from UFC, he'll walk away. I think they'll probably offer him something pretty good regardless of what happened in this fight, because he's a little vocal, he's a fan favorite, and more importantly than anything, he's a heavyweight. And the UFC does not have enough heavyweights. Now, in the first round, each other, and we both know, I know that both fighters are they're different styles, but they're very effective at their styles. Matt Mitrione guns it a little more, is not as analytical, but he does have certain things that he likes to do. Travis Browne is a very smart fighter, is very smart for a heavyweight, and is in very good shape. So he has an ability to take care of himself once he's in around and to see what's playing out. Given that, though, it's obvious that they know that either one could end the fight with one punch. Look good, they tried. The front kicks that Travis Browne was throwing were getting through. However, he didn't take advantage of that, so he was landing them, but didn't do anything with them. Mitrione landed, a punch to the head. Browne landed a kick to the body, back and forth, but nothing out of this world, except that we hear the clapper, 10 seconds left, and a finger in the eye of Mitrione. Now, what happens is that Travis Browne has the habit, as he's backing up or as he's defending himself or as he's trying to keep distance with another fighter, instead of holding his hands up and palming them like a fist, he keeps them open. So as Mitrione was coming in, he got a pinky straight in the eye. Now, this is an honest mistake. Nothing to be taken no malice was intended. Travis Browne has no reputation of being that type of fighter. He's very clean. He's very good. But this would go more under a mistake. Because one time, what are you going to do? So they check out his eye. He's good to go, but the clappers have sounded. So basically, they just wait 5 seconds, round ends, and that's it. First round's over. However, on the second round, Mitrione came out more aggressive, throwing but Browne comes out unscathed. But what ends up happening? Another finger in the eye. This time a thumb, full, all up. At this point, because of the fact that each time it happened, it wasn't like a little, oh, he got me, like a little scratch or something. No, like it's a full finger in the eye, like damn, like WWE style, old school WWE, not today's WWE. Because of that, I believe a point should have been deducted. However, they didn't mention a verbal warning for us fans to know that he had been warned that if it happened again, he'd get a point. But honestly, he should have gotten it right then and there. But if not, at least we should have heard that definitely anything close to Mitrione's eye would have been a point. Because, Mitrione, and the fight kept going. That was the worst part. It did not stop right away. So Travis Browne even stopped himself for a second. And then when he noticed that the fight wasn't going to stop, he started going after Mitrione. Mitrione defended himself well. However, after a little bit, Mitrione just yelled out, I'm seeing double here. So when the referee heard that, he stopped the bout. So they stopped it. They got him checked out again. He said he was seeing double, but once they gave him a chance to clear himself up, he was okay, and the doctor cleared him, and they kept going. Round ends, good stuff. Nothing out of this world. However, in the third round, a little slower, a little bit more reserved, but, first minute passes, second minute starts, they get a little bit more aggressive with their jabs. Browne catches Mitrione with a shot to the head as he was stepping forward. He gets his back and slams him to the ground. He gets top position and starts working his ground and pound. Mitrione is in trouble. But he needs to protect himself intelligently. If you got to watch this fight, or if you do, you'll see he was not able to. It was just a matter of time until the fight got. It did. There you have it. Travis Browne, winner in the third round by technical knockout. Good old TKO. It was a good fight. It wasn't fair. Mitrione's eye came out looking ugly. I mean, it was swollen like it was ready to burst. It looked like he had a purple water balloon on top of one of his eyelids. It was crazy how that looked. But, Mitrione can take it. He's a tough guy. I mean, a real tough guy. Awesome fight. Great job by him. That's all I got to say. I mean, it was a good fight. I like watching the heavyweights. Not always, but when it's two guys like these two that are really good at what they do, it can be a real pleasure to watch them fight. I liked it. It was a good fight. I would have taken a point away, which probably would have ended up in a draw. What I would have thought if he would have survived that last round. There's no way you can say that those eye pokes didn't affect him in the third. If you watch the fight, he's fighting that entire third round. Mitrione is squinting the entire round. I mean, that affected him, and that affects your depth perception. That affects, how well you see things coming from that side, which was the right side. It affects everything. So it did affect him. Now, to be very, very clear, 100% clear, because I do want this podcast and my blog to stand for something. To be completely clear, Travis Browne is not a dirty fighter. Not at all. Not what I'm saying. Not what I think. He was great. It was a great fight. These things happen, but this is a bad habit that he needs to fix. Because if crap like that goes down in a championship fight, we're not having it. As fans, we're not having it. So hopefully he'll get that fixed. Everybody knows he trains with the Ronda Rousey's trainer, same camp. Hopefully they can get that fixed because that's just a little ridiculous, especially for somebody like Travis Browne, who's been in the game for a while. That's all I got to say about that. Moving on. Now we have the co-main event of the evening. And I'm talking about Anthony Schultz versus Eddie Alvarez. Ed has held the title in every organization he's been to. Showtime Pettis, famous for that kick against my man, Benson Henderson, and being champion for a little bit. That's it. I mean, this guy gets on a roll, and then just a fighter that you don't think is at his level comes around, boom, takes him out. This time, he's fighting somebody that's definitely at his level, another elite fighter. Anthony Pettis has a tendency to rise to the occasion on those fights, most of the time. So how do they come out? They both come out aggressive. Now, these are two people that are very good at striking, and I mean very good. So you expect to see a lot of striking. However, Alvarez goes for a takedown like almost right away, and he gets Pettis against the cage. Pettis tries a guillotine, can't get it. He does manage to get up. But, Alvarez is a striker. He's very active. But he decided to focus on just getting Pettis to the ground. You could tell that was his game plan. His game plan is, I'm going to grind this win out. And he did. I mean, call him the Leech. He didn't have a nickname. Eddie the Leech Alvarez, because he was stuck to this boy. And, it worked. I mean, he could strike when he wanted to, and it worked at times when, there were exchanges. Pettis got a few kicks in, but every time that Pettis tried to get a kick in, Alvarez was able to get it and get in there. So, as the first round ended, Alvarez got a kick to the body, Pettis got a kick to the body. Fighters are in the center of the octagon. Or goes off round 10. I mean, it's crazy good. Now, second round, same thing. They're coming out aggressive. It's a great fight. This is a great fight. This is what fights should be. Seeing people with a game plan and working it out and trying to make each other break out of their game plan. That's what this is all about. So they're both aggressive, kind of cautious, but still jab, kick. Nobody wants to go for a combo. Nobody wants to get caught. Now, Alvarez keeps moving forward most of the time, which is great for him. It's a little weird to see Anthony Pettis backtracking all the time. Now, he gets a couple of kicks in, but it's nothing serious. And when you have a game plan like Alvarez did, of I'm going to grind it out and I'm going to get you down to the ground, and I'm going to get you against the cage and just force you to not be able to do what you like to do, backtracking, getting a kick in here and there, it's not a big deal. I mean, that's something you expect. The first thing they teach you in fighting is you're going to get hit. If you're ready to get hit, then you can be a fighter. So, same thing happens. Pettis going for a guillotine again on the ground. Can't lock it in. Alvarez breaks free. They got a clean break. Again, they're in the center of the octagon. Alvarez is still, despite the fact that he's trying to grind this out, he's still looking like the more active fighter. And, they exchange kicks, and it's crazy. They, I kick you, you kick me. Nobody's checking these kicks. Please watch this fight. Nobody is checking a kicks. No Fs are given about kicks in this fight. It is crazy. It is, I'm going to kick you. Two very elite level kickers. Like, these are not fighters that are, he's a puncher, but he's throwing kicks. No. These are two guys that know how to throw a kick. And apparently nobody thought, hey, let's practice on checking a kick so he doesn't break my leg, or so that the next week I don't feel like I have a broken leg. Nope. No Fs are given about kicks in this match. That's all it is. So round ends like it started. They're both aggressive. Couple of strikes here and there, but boom, it's over. Personally, I have it for Alvarez. And I love Pettis, but I have it for Alvarez. Both rounds, he was more aggressive. He had a game plan and he was executing. But you never know. Now, round 3 starts with Pettis getting in a couple of strong leg kicks. Again, kicks. I feel like, what the F? Is this WWE? No. Is this New Japan Pro Wrestling? Why? Because it feels like the Young Bucks are here having a super kick party. This thing is like, I'll kick you, you kick me. I kick you, you kick me. It's like, really? Really, dude? Really? But that's exactly what it is. And it is amazing to watch just to see these two guys going at it. Now, it's been a lot of kicks. And Pettis looks calm. Alvarez is still looking aggressive. And that's very important to take into account, because he's taken a couple of hits, but he keeps coming. And he gets Pettis against the cage again. So and gals to understand is, Pettis looks calm. He shouldn't. A sense of urgency, which he does not. So it's ridiculous that you want to be in the title picture again, yet you have no sense of urgency. Now, this does not look like a fight between champions, but it's what it is. However, Pettis is not looking like a guy that has that hunger in him. And it's crazy because just a couple of years ago, the WWE was really counting on him to be that. So, but hey, now they have McGregor, so it's all good. Now, Pettis is trying to get a heel hook at one point where, get to the ground, he grabs the leg, he has him in an awkward position. He's trying to get a heel hook. Boom. 2 hammer fists, no more heel hook. It's that type of fight. So this is not looking good for Pettis. And Pettis manages to get back up every time he has cage. And Alvarez is looking to take him down again. For me, it's like one more takedown, and unless he pulls off a miracle, no way he should win this fight. And what happens? Another takedown. Now, yeah, he fights his way and he gets back up again, 40 seconds to go. But like I said, unless he pulls off a miracle, he's out for the count for me. He should not win this fight. And what ends up happening? 30 seconds. Pettis gets free. They're in the middle of the octagon. No sense of urgency, because no Fs are given about kicks. Pettis is giving no Fs about winning this fight. I mean, I'm sure he didn't have it in his heart. Maybe in his head he had, I would like to win this fight. I like to be a winner again. But in his heart, his heart is like, Bellator will always be there. So World Series of Fighting is there. I heard ONE FC is paying pretty good. That's what I think is in Pettis' heart. He does not look like a guy that's like taking it to another level. I don't know why. But clappers sound, round ends, and for me, I have it 29-28 for Alvarez. I have it 29-28 for Alvarez, and my reasoning being simple. If you want, you could give Pettis a round. But if not, it's 30-27. That's what I have. I mean, however you want to put it, 29, 28. Like, the point is, Alvarez definitely won for me. We go to the judges. And the winner by split decision, Eddie Alvarez. I mean, for me, it was like, wow. Split decision. That's freaking crazy. But at least they picked the right guy. So let's just say amen to that. Hallelujah. Let him be. Let's not judge, because it's what happens in these things. Now, moving on. It's time. I wanted to yell that, but I really don't want to hurt you guys. And I don't know, headphones, if you're at the in-ears, if you're in your car or whatever, I'm not going to start yelling like crazy right now. I'll leave that for my YouTube videos. So, we have the Dominick Cruz versus TJ Dillashaw. Bangashaw. Let's go to the champion. He deserves the respect. Now, to be honest, yes, I wanted Dillashaw to lose. But really, it was because I really want Cruz to win. There's just something about how resilient this guy is that makes me respect him like so much for what he's been through, which is a lot. And it's pretty crazy. So I want the guy to win. So yeah, let me be. Now, they have the awesome music and everything. We have Herb Dean in charge of the fight, which is always a good choice. Yeah, he makes mistakes sometimes, but 95% of the time, if you have Herb Dean in there, you're good. It is what it is. There's like 3 referees that are good for these things. Really, it's 2. Herb Dean's one of them. Moving on. Round 1. Have you seen, especially if you live in New York, but anyway, when you turn on the light and there's like 2 roaches and they have no idea where they're going to go, and they just and they crash into each other a couple times, and then they just go their separate ways, but it's like not in a straight line. It's just like, oh, where? Yeah. Both fighters came out moving a lot. I mean, with very funky movements, very Dominick Cruz to them, so it's ×2. And very interesting. Dillashaw to the ground. And he gets right back up, but, every single shot at the beginning is freaking awesome. The fact that he took him to the ground was great. And then the fact that every single shot that either one is taking, the other one's evading. It's crazy. It's really good to watch this fight. Technically, it's an amazing fight. Dillashaw goes for a head kick, misses, goes for another one, misses, goes for another one. I mean, he's loving his head kicks. Dominick gets him down on one of them and has his back for a minute. Dominick gets a good left in, and, he's looking like his old... That he's gotten Dillashaw, a guy that's never been taken down. He's gotten down twice already in the first round. He's moving in and out, right to left. It's crazy. It's really good. Dominick is looking like his old self. The only difference is he's breathing through his mouth. So, really, this round, he looks like he's kind of gassed. But he's not acting like he's gassed. I mean, he's not moving like he's gassed. But his face says, I'm gassed. Probably an adrenaline dump. But it was like, that's what it looked like to me. But as far as how he was moving, did not affect his performance at all. Dillashaw kept going in for head and body kicks. Cruz kept grabbing his leg every time he went for it. The round ends, personally, it was a very close round, but I would have given it to Cruz. Not just because I want him to win, because I felt he did more, especially with the takedowns. Judges, if there's ever a benefit of a doubt, they're going to give it to the current champion. That's my thoughts. That's how it turns out to be a lot of times. Now, round 2 was a much simpler round. TJ came out very aggressive. He's trying to land that right jab over and over and over. Dominick is like freaking Houdini. His reflexes look like on point. Dillashaw is going for head kicks again. He trips at one point. I feel like that kick could have been very dangerous for him because he's just going and he's telegraphing it. But he's not stopping. Cruz gets a takedown. Dillashaw gets right back up. Cruz gets him down again. Dillashaw gets up. But again, that's 2 more takedowns. And in a row, the round ends right there. Now, for me, in this round, Dillashaw started out very much the aggressor. Moving forward, throwing kicks, throwing punches, doing everything he could. I felt that he was doing well in this round. But those last 2 takedowns, I feel gave it to Cruz. And I feel that's usually what'll get judges to go towards one fighter over the other. If they see that somebody got takedowns in MMA get a lot of points. It is what it is. But overall, I would still give the round to Cruz. So far, I have 2 rounds for Cruz. But that first round is my 50-50. Could have gone either way. Now, Dillashaw is looking a little slower in round 3. But he's still trying to be aggressive. Cruz is still just as elusive as he was in that first round. TJ is like looking for, you can tell when somebody's looking for that one punch. And that's what he was looking for. He was looking for that one punch to end it. And he was like cocking that hammer. He was like looking for it, but he couldn't get it. He managed to get a solid kick down, but Cruz doesn't let it happen. And TJ keeps winding up his kicks. I mean, the kicks at this point are looking ridiculous. I mean, maybe during a normal fight with a normal guy that's kind of tired, it might make sense to be doing these kicks at this point. But when you're this tired, it takes too much energy. Plus, you're already kind of slow. Dominick Cruz is still looking very much on point. His reflexes are there. He's evading everything. You telegraphing these kicks from a mile away, not helping anybody. Not helping you. Look, it barely helps that Dominick Cruz because, it helps him actually because he steps back, takes a breath while you're winding up. To me, it made no sense that he was throwing those kicks. Now, what do we get? Another takedown, and we get a scramble, and Cruz got the head for a second. TJ got loose. They both got up clean. TJ keeps trying to get those loaded shots, and he's wasting energy and missing. And Cruz starts landing combos. Now, towards the end, Dillashaw tries to get Cruz to the ground. He gets a heavy punch to the head as the round ends for all his trouble. For me, again, round ends, I have it 3-zip for Cruz. Like, Cruz, if he pulled what Chael Sonnen should have done versus Anderson Silva and just ran around for the last 2 rounds, he should win this fight. But knowing the judges, I would say they probably have it 2-1, but they should have it 2-1 for Cruz, meaning Dillashaw needs to win these last 2 rounds to even have a chance at retaining his championship. In a logical world where judges aren't these crazy beings that seem to be watching something completely different than the rest of us. So we're in the round number 4. We get more of the same. And now, although Dillashaw looks like he's being a little bit more patient to start the round, he gets a really hard kick in that definitely affected Cruz. But Cruz got the takedown right away. Now, this was a kick to the leg, and that's important to remember because Dillashaw in the 5th round starts noticing this. So, yes, I telegraphed. If I'm making a big deal about the judges, you guys know that I'm moving forward with this. This is going to the 5th. So, we're still on the exchanges are getting a little bit more even. And when I say even, I do mean Dillashaw is finally starting to land some hits. So Dillashaw has him against the cage at one point. He's punishing his legs. And I mean, it was knee after knee to his legs. Cruz finally gets loose, has 40 seconds to go. What does he do? Be elusive for 40 seconds. Round ends. Personally, I have it 3-1 for Cruz, where this was a round that I would say he lost. But in my imagination, thinking of the judges, I would say they probably have it 2-2 as the champion keeps getting the benefit of the doubt. So we move to the final round. Now, despite the multiple shots to the leg, Cruz comes out moving like nothing is wrong. You can see his leg starting to gain some color. You can tell that he's hurt, but he refuses to acknowledge that he's hurt. You know, he's just moving even like nothing is wrong. Now, a kick to the body lands hard for Dillashaw and boom on the head again of Cruz as he's moving in. So that's 2 kicks he got in on him. But Cruz is still moving good. The strike count is practically even so far. And it's so obvious that Cruz did hurt his leg, but he keeps moving. And Dillashaw is calm, almost like stalking him, but he's not throwing any combos. So Dominick has landed some combination. Dillashaw, not so much. Now, at 30 seconds, they're still going at it. No quit in either fighter. As the clappers sound, they're actually finally like trading combos. And round is over. Personally, I have it 3 rounds to 2 for Dominick Cruz. However, is in the judges' hands, so I was like ready for the most logical thing that judges tend to do, which is not follow logic. And, you know, I'm listening, and somebody had the fight like 49, 40, like they gave 4 rounds to Dillashaw. I was like, what? One gave it to Cruz. The other one gave it all the way to Dillashaw. Like, damn. And then the winner by split decision and new. Yeah, I can't even say how I felt. It was like so exciting to even imagine that they actually got it right is crazy. I know I told you guys I wasn't going to yell, but I'm just like, I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe it because I was like, oh my God, they got it right. Normally, especially in championship fights, they do not do this. And I was like, yes. So Dillashaw's all about, like, he thought that he won, but Dominick Cruz is your new champion. And this is awesome. Like, oh my God, I was like so excited. It was amazing. It was a great night of fights. Guys, if you can catch it somehow, I suggest you do. Now, as always, this episode actually has been a lot longer than my normal episodes, but let me know what you think. If you caught it, if you didn't, hopefully this helps you out, on your way to work or whatever. And, reach out, Twitter @TheGuyBlog. Email me, orlando@theguyblog.com. Let me know what you guys thought of this because I thought this show was awesome. Thank you. As always, talk to you soon.